Thanks again for coming out. My name is Joe Novosel. I'm president of the Fort Wayne Astronomical Society. And tonight we're going to have Jim Spalding presenting a Seestar Astrophotography journey. Jim's going to take us through his journey of getting started with the Seestar and going from what, beginner to dilettante at this point.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
that's right.
So it should be interesting. Hopefully, so our presentation tonight, as I said earlier, is Jim Spalding. And to give you a little bit about Jim's background, Jim worked as a design and manufacturing engineer for GenCorp Automotive, Guide Lighting, and Superior Essex before retiring a few years ago. Jim is also a long-serving board member and is currently our treasurer. Jim has done optical telescope observing since 2004, and he admits to struggling with astrophotography on and off since 2011. After this year's, at the turn of this year, he made a New Year's resolution to take pictures of what's up there. And he eventually acquired a Seestar and has started down that path. So tonight, Jim will take us through that journey of learning astrophotography with the Seestar S50 from beginning to a not too bad astro imager, where he gets decent pictures without spending hours in the darkroom, and he'll have tips, tricks, hacks, polar alignment instructions, and how to observe while you're sleeping. So Jim, take it away.
Okay. All right, so first thing we notice, we have a great typo at the top, but basically, this is kind of what happened. This is an actual diary entry. I'm not very religious, I guess. I don't know if that's the correct word about keeping an astrophotography diary, which is a great thing. Yeah, here's a typical diary entry. Basically, I went to Prophetstown State Park, aligned on Doobie and Arcturus, used a polar setup. Go-to failed to find the targets. Frustrating. Added a filter to the image train that seemed to solve the back focus issue. I am beyond frustrated with this setup. It takes way too long to set up, and then I can't find anything. The SynScan, which is the system for, I think it's an ioptron I got there. I'm not remembering. Does not have a local sync like the Meade or Celestron. What a pain. So in other words, if you're not exactly on the right object, you hold down the button on the Meade and it says it synchronizes you with stars. So grr. This is not something I wrote like yesterday. This is something I wrote like, a year ago, right? So what did I do? I made another diary entry. Just kidding. Okay. Oh, okay. So here we are. Let's see if we. Okay. All right. So there's a lot of frustration with the traditional astrophotography, a lot of setup time. You really need a guider and a computer out there. You polar align it, take all these individual frames and run them into the digital darkroom, and you stack them and you process them. And then my personality is not well suited for laborious astrophotography. So what do I mean by that? Well, sometimes I'm a little scatterbrained. Sometimes, man, I just want to do it now. I want to go into third gear from first gear instead of. So maybe I'm not as methodical as Geddes. So at the beginning of the year, I said, hey, let's try something different. And I just said, my goal is to take a picture of all the Messier objects out there. So I bought a Seestar. Why did I buy a Seestar? It seemed like it was the Chevy of smart scopes, okay? I have no problem with anyone buying a dwarf. They're Toyotas, maybe. They seem like they work fine. EV scopes seem like they work fine. But for $500, it's actually cheaper than an Astro camera, one Astro camera from CWO that you'd put on your $5,000 to $10,000 astrophotography setup. So what is a Seestar? Well, we're getting reverb. Oh, what's going on? It's a 50 millimeter. If I keep getting reverb, I'm gonna have to take the set off. It's a 50 millimeter triplet apochromatic refractor, an Altaz mount, electric focuser, camera, and controller in one unit. Okay, so it's a 50 millimeter triplet refractor. It's got an Altaz mount. It's got an electric focuser, camera, and a controller. Again, one unit. Uses GPS and plate solving, and there's a smartphone app with a star map and image enhancement, and it automatically captures image with the filters and stacking to improve the clarity, connects with Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. It has a built-in battery and can be charged by USB-C, and it weighs under 7 pounds, so you would just be able to put it inside of this little box here. Let's see, I don't know if our remote, but this is the box or the case that it comes into. All right. Oh, let's click. Okay, here's a picture. This is a picture from the manufacturer. So you see the tripod, and there's the Alta azimuth mount with a swivel. Okay. Okay, so I kind of numbered these by steps. So I've got about 9 steps. It almost sounds like a program from a substance abuse program, but we'll go with the first steps. The first thing I did the Alta azimuth setup. And in other words, I just put it on the tripod. I took some pictures on the front lawn of the sun. It comes with an included solar film, and I used the app on a tablet to run it. So put it on the lawn, said, hey, find the sun. And it kind of actually had some problems. It got close, and then I moved it around. Once it found the sun, it was pretty happy. So this is the first picture I took. And you can actually see sunspots, which is pretty cool, you know? I mean, you know, well, this, I don't think it'll, no. So that was in January. So, oh, guess what? The cats are saying, that's it. Later, there's another slide I forgot to take. This cat is actually named Super, and this one's Nova. So I don't know. Okay. And then I took a picture of M42 and Orion. That was the first night. That was in January 23rd. You can see pretty well the core's not totally blown out. I don't see the running man too much, but hey, not bad, you know? And I'm not sure why I'm getting a duplicate of the slides, but we'll just kind of bear with it. This is the horse head with the Christmas tree. Kind of okay. And there's some grainy texture. I was going to try to blow this up, but it's not letting me do that. So step 2, let's take a picture of all the Messier objects. And to do that, unless you're totally crazy for astronomy, you need to take pictures at all hours of the night. So if you're 68 or 69, this is a problem unless the observatory can do that. However, the Seestar software lets you automatically set up automated astrophotography. It's kind of a robotic observatory. You also need a battery, an additional battery to go all night. Wow. So here we go. This is kind of like the setup window on the app. This is a picture of the Rosette Nebula, which is your object. It's kind of like a little planetarium program window. And here's your window of observation time. I'm sure other smart scopes have a similar thing. So you click on these windows, And the window that's active, it's showing the height or the altitude above the tree line or the horizon. So you can edit it or you could trash it, but basically you could set up different windows from, you know, evening to the morning, and bang, you're done. Yeah. Okay. And then I run it in what's called station mode. So you tell it your Wi-Fi code for your house. So that's pretty convenient because I actually have at least 3 observing locations. One's across the street in a lot, and that's for everything that's on the east because I got a lot of trees, you know. So I go on the empty lot and I get the east side, and I go on the front lawn and I get kind of central stuff, and then I go on the behind the house, and that's the west side. So I got the east, the west, the center, and that's what I do. You know, Phil is very scientific and he takes pictures and all that stuff. That's how I do it. So this is what happens at 4:59 in the morning. I'm snoozing and it's got M9. That's not bad. At 5:30, same day, it picked up M20. But notice I don't have a ton of um, exposure time. I got about 20 minutes on M20 total. So yeah, I cropped it. You're exactly correct. Yeah.
Did you put in the time for each object, or was it decide how long?
No, you put in how much time you want, and in general, I kind of started off with about an hour an object. Um, right now, I'm trying to use more like an hour and a half to even 2 hours, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But then, as you get the results, sometimes it automatically stacks these. But if there's blur or movement, you know, um, then the machine throws away that, you know, 10-second exposure. It takes a series of 10-second exposures. This is an altazimuth mode. So you might say, I'm going to take an hour, and you might get like a half hour of data, you know. I mean, the experiences of the dwarf people is probably a lot better, but they have a shorter focal length. So we have a longer focal length. And I don't know, maybe the hardware is different. I don't know. But anyway, so step 3 is processing. And I need to learn more about this, but it can be fast if you're interested in a snapshot. So I just use the app to do a denoise, and then I adjust the contrast and brightness to taste. You can increase the saturation, which is the intensity of the colors. And then also something interesting I found out is the Android tablets and smartphones will let you process the photos with really pretty good results. And if you like, you can use PixInsight or Cyril. And I'm trying to learn Cyril, but you can take your photos and they're in a FITS format, and you can process them, or you can just post them on Groups.io and tell Geddes, please help me. And then in about a day later, he'll show up with a really great picture of yours. You know? But anyways, that's what I do, right? So this is an interesting picture. I think this is the silver coin galaxy, and left is after I supposedly processed it okay in the app, right? And right is, I don't know, I pulled it into the Android app and it's got more tweaks and stuff you can do, and it looks like it's a different picture. So I thought that was interesting. So the point is that, you know, per picture, I'm probably taking 4 to 6 minutes, maybe not much more to process it on the tablet, you know. And if you're taking 6 or 7 a night, yeah, this is so step 4. Equatorial mode. Okay. What is equatorial mode? Well, I will show you my mount a little bit, but anyways, I looked this up on cloudy nights, and I found out there's an amateur astronomer, Kay Young. So back in October of 23, he released a software hack, and he says, hey man, why can't you point this thing at the pole instead of straight up? And then as it rotates, it'll erase all the motion of the Earth. And you can, instead of getting a 10-second, you can go 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. So he did this, and this guy's got tremendous grit, tenacity, and he figured out all these ways around all the, like, for example, the Seestar natively didn't like you pointing below the horizon, because that's pretty stupid, right? So if you tilt it to go and look something back there, you got to point below the horizon, right? But Mr. Young says, "Ah, software, we got it," you know. So he figured it out. So anyway, so the advantages is you get longer integration times. You don't get field rotation. Field rotation is, if I take a picture, a focus a camera in the sky, and it's not mounted equal as the Earth rotates, if I keep it pointed at the same object, the view apparently turns like this. So we get a lot of little snapshots like that. So then what happens is I'm taking them with a square frame and I'm rotating them and stacking them together. So everything around the edges is very underexposed, and it gets what you call vignetting. So you look like you got a kind of a circle if it's an end. And the other thing that's kind of cool with equatorial mode is you get orientation aligned with celestial coordinates. So that's pretty cool, because you just look at your star map and you look at your photo and it's all boom, it's look great. But the disadvantages, mounting can be an issue, as well as cord wrap. That's cord wrap for all you guys that can't supply the P in there. So here's what's going on. What did I do? Well, I bought what they call a fluid pan head. This is the same type of device that Seestar sells for, I don't know, it's like $70 or $80. And this is about 30 bucks. There's nothing different. And then the weight of the telescope is sort of overbalanced on one side. So you can either put a weight here or a spring or something. So this was my first iteration. It worked, but it didn't work. It didn't work because when you have to adjust the axes for polarization, you're moving this handle up and down and tightening some knob and turn it this way, and there's no fine screw. Anyways, it was a pain. So not recommended. Okay, that's number one. Whoops, we're still into step 4. This is the cord wrap issue. Look at this. What happened? It was out in the field. It spun around. The cord wrapped around the base. It broke the socket. Holy moly. So it turned out that I was able to extract this socket, which was in this cable here. And I still have a functional Seestar, with the exception that when I plug in another cable, I can't get all the native data files out. So I might have to replace a board or something, but I can still use it, you know. So this is a problem, especially with this setup. So some people have used a magnetic cord. They plug in here and it's got like a magnetic breakaway, and I basically have substitute. Yeah, that was disaster. Setup 2 is disaster. Okay, this is setup number 3. I just took my counterweight from one of my other equatorial mounts and tightened it on here, and it surprisingly gave me a really nice counterweight. The balance was good, but I'm still having trouble adjusting the alt-az, so I don't know, don't do that. And oh, that's 4. Step 5, here we go. Okay. Did I show you a picture? I didn't show you a picture of where we are now. I'd recommend it if you got a stable setup. You can lose roughly 50 to 70% of the shots due to stack errors in alt-azimuth. And maybe there's people that have better experiences. In equatorial, I'm keeping like 70 or 80% of the frames. I tried going longer, and sometimes I'm having issues. And then polar aligning. Polar line twice. So you align once, and then after you align, it tells you like, oh, you're off a degree or half a degree, and you turn these knobs. You do that, but instead of saying it's okay, you go back a screen and then realign from the beginning. And why is that? Well, that's because the gyros in the Seestar have a little bit different alignment than the measurements it gets from the stars. And I found this out from a gal on the web called the Space Koala. Seriously. And she's pretty smart. She's not only good looking, but she's smart. She took a better picture of the Crescent Nebula than Geddes, and I thought that was pretty funny. But anyways, the Space Koala says that's what's going on. So that's what's going on. So that's what I do. Okay, we got an M42. Oh, okay. The Seestar keeps your data on the device used to download it. So if you use a phone and a tablet, it's in two places. So my solution was to send the pics to my drive like this. I just rename it and I put, okay, if I'm taking M42 underscore year, month, date, hour, minute, exposure, stack time, and the scope. So that way I can see, like if I want to sort it by name, I can just look at the M42s or the date. So I don't know. That's what I do. There's a lot of data this thing cranks out. Yeah. Step 7. Flats. The Seestar does not ask you for flats. Traditional astrophotography, as we know, has lights, which is the image. It has darks, which is, I think, lack of image. It has a bias frame, and it has flats, which is like a frame with an all-white background. The Seestar just says point and shoot, and it does all this other stuff internally. But recently, they popped out another software update. And you can see where this is going. Every time there's a problem, somebody shoots out a software update, you know. So I had a blotch on my photo, and it didn't go away after I cleaned the lens. So they released a software update that lets you do flats. So you turn your smartphone to a white, there's an app or something, and you put it at 80%, then you put it on the lens and follow the instructions. So look at that. I bet you guys never saw an uglier astrophoto. Look at that sucker. And this was persisting across a lot of them. So this was NGC 55. This was before the flats. This was a longer exposure than this one. This one was pretty quick just for testing. But anyways, it made it go away. So some success. Yeah. And then step 8 was trick the Seestar app. What is he talking about? Well, you can do this with Pluto. You can do this with asteroids. You take a picture of, then this was Pluto on the 3rd and 4th of November. And it's in there, but each time you take it, it stacks it and it says that's Pluto on the November 3rd and that's Pluto on November 4th or whatever. But you can go in and you can restack them, and it'll let you restack it as long as it's the same object. So I could, if I've still got them in the Seestar memory, I can add all the M42s or Plutos or whatever. So anyway, so you add them together, and then you look at your star chart, and look, we got the movement of Pluto, which I thought was kind of cool, you know. So step number 9, missing asteroids. I'm learning a lot about holes in the software. But when you take a picture of an asteroid, check the right ascension and declination in your planetarium and do that split screen. I'm sorry I didn't have a screenshot, but typically when I do something like that, I'll put on the tablet, I'll put a split screen up. So I'll have the Seestar on the left and the Sky Safari on the right. So you want to take a picture of some asteroid. So when I first didn't do this, I took a picture of the asteroid and it says, okay, here's where the asteroid is. And then the next day, I'm like, where's the asteroid? I don't see no asteroid. So then when I pulled up the planetarium program, it turned out the thing was off by like, half a degree or something. It was out of the picture, some of them. So they've got some issues with not with the stars and mainly not with the planets, but with some asteroids. And so you got to check it, It's disappointing, but be aware. So what are we doing in the future? This is what I want to do in the future. I want to get Nina on the Seestar. It's a control program. And a lot of the traditional astrophotographers are using this. And it runs on small PCs. It automates the observing and the polar alignment and downloads the data. Why do that? You cannot do it, but one of the neat things about it is, for example, you'd have a lot more memory. You'd have a much better, for example, the polar alignment routine on the Seestar, says you're good if you're under, say, 9/10 of a degree, And when I've aligned, I've tried to get under 3 or 4/10, which is, it seems like it works better. But, if you went to Nina, it'll generate a picture that shows you how far you're off on a given star, and it'll direct the scope. Yes, sir.
So when you run that Nina on a laptop, that control the Seestar.
It can if you
Switch the control off your phone.
right. Yeah, I'm just saying this is something I'm going to do. It's been done by people in the future. In the future, like here's a link to this. Yeah, I'm not going to run the whole video, but I just wanted you to see.
When Kai from the channel Kai with Seestar, who has been like a long time hacker,
Yeah.
was not a fighter. So you could now natively use the ZW Seestar again S50.
Okay, I'm going to go back to our presentation if I can figure out what I'm doing here. Oh, well, maybe I guess got to go back. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so anyways, there's a link in there, and there's some benefits to doing that, but you're basically adding some complexity. But I don't know. I'm going to try that. I got a little bit of a gallery here. Oh, you've seen this supernova already, but we'll take a look at that. Wow, what's going on, man? What are you, pretty small? Well, we'll zoom in. Yeah. This is super and this is nova. So that's not the supernova we were looking for. My apologies, it worked fine at home, but you never know. And then here's a real supernova. Hopefully okay, it's full size. This is with the Seestar. You can 23 minutes of stacking, and there's a galaxy, and there's a little supernova. That's probably 13 or 14 magnitude. So I thought that was pretty cool. Pac-Man. This is a little grainy. I don't think I did a good denoise on it, but it's got lots of color. I'll take it, The Heart Nebula. This might have been denoised better. Yeah, you can see a lot of cloudiness. That's a mosaic. That's about an hour and a half. You can see some details that probably aren't as visible with a dwarf. But again, it struggles a little bit with a large area like this. M45. This I was pretty excited for an hour. I got some cool nebulosity, and I thought, hey, that's pretty cool, you know. So yeah,
Are all these photos cropped?
not all of them, but I tend to like to do that. Maybe I'm just like
Seems like you feel
I probably have cropped some of them to bring out details like this one. Yeah. Let's see what lagoon. I can. Yeah, I think that one's cropped too. Yeah, but I don't know. I liked it. You know. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Oh, M31. No, this is the ghost. This is not cropped. This is Ghost to Cassiopeia, and I know they had a lot of trouble doing this one on a dwarf. Yeah, and I'm not sure why I was able to, but that star. Oh, that's a bright star. Okay. Hang on a second, guys. I'm having trouble getting back to where we were. No, I'm trying to. Oh, there we go. Ghost Cassiopeia. M31 should be here. Ah, that's an M31. About, yeah. Yeah, I liked a lot of the M31s I've seen on Dwarf. Yeah. Crescent Nebula. Okay. This one I liked a lot. This is P81, also known as Barnard 143. It's a dark nebula. It looks like God wrote the letter C up in the sky for us to see. It's really interesting. I just thought that was amazing. The Helix Nebula, a little overexposed here, but and this is a ring nebula. Geddes might have done a little processing on the ring. It's cropped and blown up. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can get to the next questions. Yeah.
Questions.
Yeah.
How many objects do you program in for all night? Are you limited by your battery? Or
I've got a supplemental battery, and here, let me show you. I was gonna put the setup together, but this is a tripod. I know it looks a little herky jerky, but it kind of works. So yeah, here's a battery I found that seems to work pretty well. It was about $20, you know. So I just put the Seestar on top of here, and the reason why is there a bolt here instead of a knob? Because the people that what is it, Skywatcher, that supplied this unit, the knob is the threads are too short, so that interferes with the actual Seestar when you put it on here. So I just substituted a bolt so I could get it. Yeah, but oh, yeah, that's good. Thanks, man. So any other questions?
the hour you put in it? Because you go to sleep, you run it all.
Yeah, it just runs like all night, you know.
You get 20 hours.
Yeah, but typically I think I'm using about an hour exposure, so probably 7 or 8 is like the max. But if you really wanted to fire away, but they're probably not going to be that. I mean, I think I'm cutting it short at an hour. Some of the more experienced people say, man, you know, I should do it 2 or 3 hours, you know. But
And you can choose polar or alt-as mode.
yeah, I mean, the easy mode, you're right, is just doing it alt as.
That's a default for this.
That's the default, right? So you just put it out, and then you don't have to worry about orientation. You just put it out on the lawn, or you go camping or wherever, and you just tell it what you want to find. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. To un what?
And yeah, an image that the Seestar has rejected, is it possible to get that back? The reason why I ask
Oh.
is last fall, Russell and I were out with the club's Seestar,
Yeah.
and we were trying to catch Chutinchan Atlas just as it was coming out of the sunset. And first few images, nothing,
Right.
nothing, and then all of a sudden, we can see it on the screen. We can see it on the screen,
Right.
and the Seestar rejected it.
Yeah. Did it reject it for star trailing? Is that what it did?
I don't know what it was, but it rejected it and threw it out, and we were frustrated. So
I guess I'm not sure about that, but I know if you select it to save all the frames
okay,
in the advanced features, that's what I do. But then that blows up the memory.
yeah, it would.
It'll take, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, and then you got to clean out the memory, or it'll right. But if you do that, so for example, that Pluto thing,
Hmm.
I took the frames and I looked into them, and there was about 7 or 8 of them that looked like it was shooting through a tree or something, right? So I just didn't use those,
Mhm.
So
Okay.
yeah.
I be sure that you can take a screenshot, because that, that your moment you see it, be sure that routine is in your mind, because you can take a screenshot and then you got it for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Seestar software automatically delete satellite trails.
No,
Does not.
no.
They just kind of fade out as you stack.
Yeah, and you can go in and manually stack them. So you can, like, if you got like 60 or 80 shots, what you can do, the easiest thing is just say, please stack those, and you select them all as a mass group, and then you just page through them, and then you say, oh, don't stack these 5. See what I'm
Oh,
getting?
you can go through the individual frame.
Right. I mean, the other way would be you could take the individual stacks and you could export it to PixInsight or Cyril or Deep Sky Stack or whatever, But I mean, the software, I think it does a pretty good job stacking. But I mean, I don't know. There's better astrophotographers in this group than me, and they could do it. But I'm just saying this is working pretty well for me,
So there's not a feature on there that you can delete any pixel that's outside the range of the average.
Oh, you mean like a hot pixels?
No, like the software I use has it. You can put like a 10% or 20%. So if a pixel is outside the range of whatever the stacked average is, it'll reject.
Oh, I see.
It'll reject.
No, it's just I assume it's got some kind of AI thing that it figures that out. But right, so if you want to stack them yourself, just pull the Seestar frames into your program.
Do you answer questions on our groups.io page?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Good.
So I don't consider myself really an expert, but I kind of am good enough to get some decent results, and I got some decent results. Some of the pictures look a little splotchy, and I really need to work on maybe advanced processing or something like that. But I've seen stuff on the web where some people have actually made a little tube for the where the objective lens is, because there's nothing that prevents you from scattered light. I've got some really weird, horrible pictures where it looks like half of it's white and half of it's dark because maybe it's a street light or something, or maybe it was, when I was camping, I set this thing up on a picnic table. But the flexibility of the new smart scopes is nice that, yeah, you're not going to get Hubble results, but it's amazing how good the results are. And I think if you looked at the people that are experts, you can find an expert picture at AstroBid and just search for Seestar pictures, and you'll be stunned that with a 2-inch objective, they're turning out almost really pro astrophotography. Yeah, Gene, what's up? Yeah, it does, but I haven't done that yet. There's a way to dither. Yeah. You can get your resolution up. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Is there any one thing, Jim, that moved you up quantum leap? Or is it just a gradual experience that you gather over time? Any piece of hardware?
Well, I
mean,
think the first thing that was a big step was basically learning to push the button that said denoise or something. That was a big thing. And then I think doing the equatorial mode, I think helped because you're probably retaining at least twice as many, well, maybe not twice, but at least 50% more frames, and they're not rotating. But I think it's quite interesting when I hear reports from like Mike Arata or Phil or somebody that they have the dwarf and they're stacking almost everything that they're taking. Maybe my experience is not typical, but I think it probably is. I looked at, there was somebody on YouTube that was talking about, and he said after he equatorial stacked, he was getting 75% of them were retained, So my experience is typical, So, yeah. What you got? Did you have something? Okay, sorry.
any interest in doing science with your Seestar?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, I
Is
think
there
I think I did a little astrometry just for the heck of it one time.
Mhm.
So you can pull the picture into like
Can be done.
Cyril. I was using Cyril, and you can highlight 2 stars, and it'll say, wow, they're like 12.32 arc seconds apart, and it'll label all the stars. It'll figure out like it does the plate solve and all that stuff.
How much
So-
control over exposure do you have? Can you go under 10 seconds? Can you?
No, you can't. You basically are limited to like, well, you can go, they give you 10, 20, 30 in a minute, right? So if you want to try it, you can do a minute in alt azimuth mode, but it'll look like this.
You got
Yeah.
to make sure that your stars aren't saturated if you're going to do sciencey sort of things.
Right.
No bloating.
Yeah. So I don't know.
What about focus? Can you manually control the focus?
Yeah, you can manually control the focus, but it normally doesn't autofocus on everything for
Yeah.
every session.
But if you can't, in order to keep the star from being bloated, you can take it out of focus so that you're not exceeding the camera's intensity range.
Yeah, I never
By
thought about
defocusing.
that, but then wouldn't that make
Yeah.
everything else look blurry and stuff?
Well, if you're only after the intensity of the star and not a pretty picture, then it doesn't matter.
Well, there you go. You can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyone else?
All right.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay. I don't know if you needed a setup. I probably brought more stuff than you needed, but Edward's got a Seestar. Are you equatorial, Ed, or not?
Did you go through this? Is this standard or did you put this?
No, I purchased these. This is from Skywatcher. Okay.
Okay. Did you talk about that?
Briefly, there was
Talk
supposed
about
to
the
be
fan that
there was supposed to be a picture in there, but I don't know what happened to it. I was really weird. It was really weird because all the every time I was clicking, Yeah, this is like the polar thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of Mickey Mouse, but it works for me. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do something a little, oh. Yeah. So this is the hillbilly engineering counterweight setup. So there's also guys on oh, I don't know, some guy named Peterson has got a thing where he built a bracket that kind of hangs it at an angle. So you put this over the center, so its center of gravity is right in the center. But he bends it to your latitude. So okay, if I'm at 41 degrees and I move like to 39 degrees, I got to tilt it up and over. So I'm thinking about designing something that's maybe is a lot better than what you can buy out there. But it's how, huh? Well, this went to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and it worked fine, you know. But not with the Peterson setup, not with the thing, yeah. So, oh, and then one other thing that I found that was really pretty interesting. I bought this Apertura adapter, and it's a 2-inch filter holder, and it's got a moon filter screwed into it. I thought, wow, that's great, that's super. So, you know, I could probably, well, you put it into the oh, I got my phone here. I'll show you. You'll be gobsmacked when you see this. This is great. Kind of not really great, but I'll show you. Okay, now wait a second. Okay, I got to get my, oh, I got to turn this thing on. Well, okay. And you see the power button starts out yellow. If it's in alt azimuth mode, it's yellow. But once it figures out that it's wakes up and figures out it's in polar mode, it turns green. So somebody must have, oh, you didn't know that. No, that's because you're running in the old mode, man. You gotta. Yeah, well, so what does that tell you? Exactly. So all this extra stuff, it's complicated. You know, pictures are better and stuff, but are they that much better? I don't know. You know, I had this thing on top of my camper in alt azimuth mode, you know, on top of the camper, you know, when I was camping one time, you know, I just left it up there for a couple of days. Nobody's going to steal it. They don't know what it is. They're worried that I'm with the CIA because I got this camera thing and they don't bug me, you know. So now it's in polar mode. Okay. And you got to select its own internet. I selected the Jimbo Star network. Okay. So now I'm going to hit open ARM and it's opening. All right. So this is another crash. I'm really beating up on the Seestars because I kind of wrecked the port a little bit, you know. And this is interesting. Okay. So we're not going to, yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's turn it 90. Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. All right. This is good. Okay. All right. So you take your Apertura adapter with your moon filter, right? Okay. Fits in there very nicely. Nice and snug. Okay. Do not do this on automatic. Why? Because I'm going to take it out and you'll see why. You put this on automatic, and if the arm closes, it's too thick And what happens is the thing jams, and then all of a sudden, you're hearing like gears and stuff are grinding. I'm sure there's some plastic in there, you know, and like, yeah, see, it will not go in, you know? So, you know, maybe I got to shave off this filter, or I don't know, but why are they selling something that's going to break your machine? I don't know. Yeah, not Seestar, but Apertura. Apertura sold it. It's a great little device as long as you never run this thing in automatic. Huh? They got some 13-year-old kid to design something on CAD, and they just
Thanks for the
rip,
comments,
you
John.
know, whatever. But anyway, so that's the
Thank you, John.
yeah.
You said you were having trouble with the solar alignment, which I
I
had.
did, yeah.
I've routinely had trouble with the
Yeah,
solar
yeah, you could-
alignment.
There's two of them. One's a cover. No, go ahead, take a look at it.
Actually made a solar, guide for it with a pinhole.
Oh, yeah.
But another trick that I figured out is you're trying to find the sun, if you're doing it manually, there's a really narrow space between the unit and the arm.
Oh, so you just, yeah.
So you turn suddenly watching the shadow on the ground,
Uh-huh.
you see that little narrow barrels, thin line of sunlight, then you stop, and then you just go up.
And then you just go up and down. Yeah.
Up and down vertically.
That's clever. Yeah. Okay.
Anything else?
I don't know. Do you guys have anything else? But anyways, this is the show and tell. So I think in the future, maybe a tray and put a weight on there, or offset this thing. I don't know. But yeah.
Say remove before closing telescope.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but you know, how big is the print? Like, is it,
Well, it's like your passport.
I can't see it from,
Make sure you fill it out black. Blue, black.
I don't know. It's like designing a plug that's got a metal thing that the toddler can grab it and zap themselves in the wall or something. It's like,
Does that filter help your pictures?
I tried it once or twice, and I really haven't gone back, and it did seem to do a whole lot for me so far.
Oh,
But
that's Mark.
oh yeah, this is the altitude knob, right?
We should be around 45.
Well, why is it at 60? Probably because the last time I used it was at
I wonder what Mark meant.
No, this is trying to think. I probably did that in Florida. So maybe it's the reverse of the tilt. Let me see. This would 90 would be up. Right, because it
Down there.
no. If you're at zero latitude, the equator,
Yeah.
oh, that would be all the way
Florida,
up.
you should be like a 32.
I don't know, man. Maybe I was in a time warp or something.
Picture you'd be like, up there, northern Quebec.
Maybe the scale's not so great. I don't know what to tell you.
So anyway, put it on 45. Well, I think,
Put on 45?
I think that.
Okay, just a second. You do it like this.
We're done with the main
You're talking
presentation,
about-
and if anybody has images for show and tell, we'll do that. And if no one has Aurora.
Oh, you gotta tilt
images
this
they
like
wanna
this.
share beyond what we've already seen, then
See, that doesn't,
thank you
you're
for
not
coming out
quite at
tonight.
such a bad
We're
angle there.
officially adjourned.
Yeah, well, you know, I might have slept since
Right,
then.
Lee?
That's all I gotta tell you.
Anyway.
Yeah, put it on here. Or if you wanna,
Yeah, see, you're right. Yeah, it's a.
No, he just adjusted.
I just adjusted it.
Oh,
We
No
can't
wonder,
have
okay.
the TV.
I might have messed with something.
So
and-
this was already bought here.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, you know, your screws here, you really need to almost put like little Belleville washers under here, because it doesn't lock into position, and you
Well,
gotta.
you gotta
and-
tighten those down.
Yeah. You got an Allen wrench, you gotta tighten that in the dark. Well, the other thing, it's very,
there you go, right here. There you go.
Produce yourself.
yeah, it's very, very
Make here
touchy.
now.
Like you do this and you're like, okay, right? And if you start tightening these, then all of a sudden your polar's going out
Well,
of
that's,
whack.
so on my mount.
So they're talking over there. My name is Dale Rupert.
You get
Um,
there.
Let's-
I work
let's-
here at PFW, but I also do stargazing events at Lindenwood Nature Preserve. We do it every month, normally plan like 3 months out at a time. So even though during the winter we might not do the open stargazing there, we do have it at Lindenwood Nature Preserve. So the upcoming one we have is December 4th, based around the supermoon. I kind of base these around stuff that's going on. So December 4th, January 5th, and then February 17th are the next 3 upcoming ones. We're gonna be doing it like 8 p.m. because it's winter, gets darker sooner kind of thing, so we don't have to stay up too late. But they normally run about like an hour and a half. So if anyone wants to show up there at Lindenwood Nature Preserve, not the cemetery, just Nature Preserve. we normally meet in the parking lot. We do some gazing there if it's more advantageous to do in the parking lot, but we always like take a little hike out to the pond and see what we can see out in the pond area there.
I'm not sure how we're gonna do this. Monroeville, Indiana.
That's wrong. No.
Is it? Oh, there she is. Yes. Adrian Day. It's like a paw. I didn't notice the camera that was used. Is this with her cell phone? I'm not sure. Was it cell phone? Bill? This looks like yours. Oh, this is Adrian's as well.
That's Bill.
Bill, is this yours?
Yes. They all look the same. Just the faces. That's your best one.
Oh, we're rolling around to the, rolling all over. Let's see. Did we look at these 11? How come we're not seeing the picture? Wow, it's impressive. Yeah, oh, there's Aurora. Now that would driving the Aurora. I don't know why we're not seeing the pictures.
What if you hit go something, you gotta click on below. Is there a link there?
Oh, that's it. Probably.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh,
Yeah, you posted that.
Aurora circle.
That was for the,
Happy day. That one?
Yeah.
No.
It's hidden over, it's over on the right.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I got that.
So
There are no more pictures in here?
they're there, but you gotta click on them and down.
Wait a minute. Well, how do I have to
Just click
download?
download. No.
Yeah. Way to go, Jim.
Original picture, see when you clicked on the file name.
It did, but I don't see any other file names. It's the only one. And that's of
Okay,
this,
Okay.
right?
I think that's the only thing.
How do I get rid of this thing? I can't see where I'm navigating. Can I?
The Xbox and this one, that's it, you gotta hold. Stop moving your mouse. I ran in, there you go.
Okay, so we can close that one. We can go back here. I don't see any others.
Okay.
No. Aurora and Ocean. How about that? Oh, here we go.
Yes, it's gonna back away. Get us,
There we go.
get us over.
This is a composite flash and aurora. How about down here in the lower right?
Oh, yeah.
Like his trees are already lit up for the holidays. He has a gas tank. Oh, there you go. You wanted green. Now those look like cirrus clouds.
Yeah, there were some clouds that night, so sometimes you
Yeah.
catch them, Fort Wayne blow off the clouds. Or
We're back to the beginning. Okay. Did I look for more? Nope, that's it.
maybe about it.
That's it. There we go.
Oh, that's common.
Yeah. Lemon, I think it said.
Yeah, I got about 3-4 pictures. That came up.
Okay. All right. I think that's it. Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, and this, right, and there you can see the fall when they come across. That's what Martin's.
Yes, it says right here, Martin Wong.
Yeah.
All right.
No, he's had a longer exposure. That's all of that. I think it may be even been last week. There is.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
I don't know what the software is.
All right. That's about it.